Hey guys, welcome back to Token Tech. Today I want to quickly talk about the GPU market, how competition is coming back to it, and take a look at these products that are bringing this competition. So, right off the bat, we know that AMD is launching their new graphics cards tomorrow on the 7th, and nvidia is now launching new graphics cards or refreshed graphics cards on July 9th. They announced them just a couple days ago, and a lot of the YouTubers have talked about them and reviewed them already. Basically, the leaks are right. Everything is super simple to understand in a generalistic way. You have the 2060 that's still going to be on the market, the same old 2060 that we've known so far. The 2060 Super is going to be $400, so $50 more. Be a less cut down version of the 2070, perform basically the same, have 8 gigs of VRAM, and is replacing it. The 2070 is no longer going to be sold, and it will be the 2060 Super will be $400, which is $100 less than the 2070 for almost the same performance. That is a step in the right direction. The 2070 Super is now a cut down version of the 2080, and it's at $500. It performs very close to a 2080, close enough to, like, by all means, not warrant a $200 price hike for it. This also makes the Radeon 7 irrelevant for gaming, although the Radeon 7 has many more capabilities than just for gaming. So it's still relevant for other tasks, just not for gaming. So this card is going to be, again, $200 cheaper than a 2080 and perform basically the same as a 2080, and it supports it supports SLI now. So that's also very, very good for $500. And the 2080 is also going to be replaced, but I don't really want to talk about any of this stuff because it's not launching on the 9th, just this stuff down here. So why did nvidia do this? This is not coming from the kindness of their hearts. This is not coming to support the consumer. This is coming to try to make nvidia's launch tomorrow look like crap, basically. They're just trying to say, hey, look, yeah, they're launching some stuff, but look, our stuff is better, and we dropped the price, and you can get more for your money. And oh yeah, the Founders Edition cards, they're not going to be $100 overpriced. They're actually going to launch at MSRP, just like everybody else. This is basically what they're trying to do, just trying to make AMD's launch look bad, which is fine. That's just business being business, right? So this is our product stack. It's very mediocre in my opinion. I still think these prices are a bit too high. They're going in the right direction, but definitely too high still. I think, I guess they're worth it. I don't know. I just have a hard time really agreeing with this because I still think they're too high. But needless to say, it is better, and it is, I just got a warning. It's better, and it's definitely, we're talking about, but very mediocre in my opinion. So let's go ahead and jump into what AMD has done. So of course that comes out. AMD already talked about its prices, as you can see at the top. These are the prices that they said that the cards were going to launch at: $450 and $379 or $380, right? And those were going to compete with the 2060 and the 2070. Well, the 2070 doesn't really exist anymore, and it's going to be replaced by the 2060 Super that is $100 less, so $50 less than the 5700 XT, and close enough to the 5700 that it might make the 5700 a little bit irrelevant. So AMD last minute, yesterday, dropped the prices down to $400 for the XT version and $350 for the vanilla 5700. Again, this is great. This is competition. This is healthy for the consumer. Both of these companies doing what they can to try to get sales. Where on NVIDIA's side, they're not really dropping the prices because they haven't dropped the prices of the individual units, but they're increasing the performance. So for the same money, you're getting more performance. AMD is doing what they can, which is they can't give us more performance, right? But they're taking the 5700 XT and chopping $50 off of it. They're taking the 5700 and chopping, like $30 off of it, all right? And so you're paying less for the same performance, right? There's two different ways of coming at basically the same problem. And I think it's decent. Again, I don't think it's enough personally. I would really like to see the 5700 at like $330, and I'd like to see the 5700 XT at $380 or $375, something like that. I think that would be enough to be like, okay, we're relevant and we're cheap enough to make NVIDIA stuff look a bit irrelevant, right? But at these prices, they're just trying to compete. And when you compete with nvidia in the gaming market, although these cards will perform very well, I don't have any doubts about that. I'm just saying the consumers are going to usually buy nvidia. So the 5700, I think, totally makes the 2060 irrelevant, because the 2060 is like very cut down, and it only has 6 gigs of VRAM, where this isn't going to be that cut down, and it's going to have 8 gigs of VRAM. This card may actually make the 5700 XT irrelevant if the same thing happens like what happened with the Vega 56 and 64, where the 56 with minor tweaks, overclocking, and if you really wanted to get into it, you could BIOS flash it. It performed basically the same as a Vega 64 for less money. So we might see that happen again. Again, we'll have to wait and see on that, because that's definitely going to require hands-on experience to know that, if that's the case. But I think this is definitely the one to get, especially at $350. That's a decent price. Again, I would like to see it a bit lower, but it's okay, right? It does the job, I guess. At $400, this is really a toss-up. For the 5700 XT, competing with the 2060 Super, which we know compares to the 2070, it's a toss-up. Because if we remember, the 2070 was $500 and the 5700 XT was $450. So they were originally coming in $50 less than the 2070, which made it seem a bit more appealing. But now that you can get 2070 performance at $400 with the 2060 Super, and this is being, priced at the same as the 2060 Super, again, like I said, it's a toss-up. I would like to see it $20 or $30 cheaper than 2060 Super. That way it can compete better and be more relevant. Again, selling to gamers, not enthusiasts like us, just regular gamers, they typically will just go with nvidia. So you can't be the same, you have to be better. And if you're not better, you have to be less money, right? And so all those factors come into play. Now, again, we can talk about how AMD doesn't really care about the GPU market or the PC gaming market, because they're in all the consoles. I shouldn't say all of them, they're not in Nintendo, but they're in Microsoft and Sony's consoles. They're going to be in Microsoft and Sony's next generation consoles. They're going to be in Google Stadia, right? They're going to be, they made deals with Samsung, so they're probably going to be in Samsung phones in the future. So, to be honest, they're going to get you one way or another, right? If you buy a PlayStation 5, or if you buy a PS4, if you buy an Xbox One, or whatever the next gen Xbox is going to be, you're buying AMD, right? If you participate in Google Stadia, you're basically paying for AMD. In the future, when they have them in Samsung phones, if you have a Samsung, you're basically paying AMD. So, to be honest, they don't need to be highly competitive in the GPU market, because, well, they're going to get you one way or another. However, I think this is definitely better than what people were thinking. Some people were rumoring there's price fixing, and they're just trying to keep prices up and have no options so that we have to go and buy more expensive stuff. I don't think that's the case. I don't. I think that they are, AMD is just taking a different approach to it than they used to, because they have all these other revenue streams. So they're kind of like, you know what, if you want our cards, you're going to have to pay like as if you're buying an NVIDIA card. I think that's their approach. And I think NVIDIA is just thinking, well, we're the quote-unquote best for gaming, so we can charge a lot of money for it. And that's what happened. And because no one was buying NVIDIA cards, and NVIDIA likes to stay on top, they do not like to have competition from AMD. They don't want AMD to even be on like your mind. They release Super. And then to respond to Super, we get price drops. Before release, okay, just so you know, before release we have price drops. That's pretty insane, which again makes these cards much more relevant than what I think they would have been otherwise. We'll see if this continues. We'll see what happens when AMD launches lower end Navi cards and higher end Navi cards in the next couple months. Anyways, that's going to be it for me, guys. Tell me what you think in the comment section down below. Are you going to pick up a Super card? Are you going to pick up one of these 5000 series cards from AMD? I know for me, I'm going to be buying a a new CPU to replace my 1800X. I'm probably going to go with the 3700X. Tomorrow I'm going to drive out to a Micro Center and get one. And if you guys do live near a Micro Center, definitely go out to it tomorrow. Tomorrow they're having like a big event for the AMD launch starting at 9 a.m. So get out to a Micro Center if you have the ability to. Anyways, I'll catch you guys in the next one.